Hey there, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the dumbbell standing alternating shoulder press, and we're going to be taking a neutral grip with this exercise today. Make sure to stay to the end of the video where we're going to go over demonstrations on improper form, but for now we're just going to be talking about how to do this exercise correctly to benefit from it as much as possible while minimizing risk. So you want to make sure that you're standing around shoulder width apart with your hips in, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your abs. Also make sure to have the dumbbells right underneath your chin when you start, and choose a weight that you can do appropriately for around 20 repetitions comfortably, and then slowly start to increase the weight every other week or so. Just do it safely. Also make sure not to excessively arch your lower back. Once you do that, you want to make sure you're coming all the way down to the chin, going all the way up, overhead, not in front of you or behind you. But before we continue with more tips, here's a word from today's video sponsor.
I'm today's video sponsor, and if you'd like help losing fat or gaining muscle, there are a few ways I can help you down below. Either set up a free consultation with us, purchase through one of our free affiliate links, or purchase one of our instant access affordable training programs. Can't wait to be of service to you. Now let's get back to the rest of the video.
Now the main thing when you're doing this exercise is going to be elbow position. So notice that my elbows are not flared out to the sides, they're nice and tucked in. And the reason that is because as you're doing most, I would say, supinated or even neutral, which is what we're doing today, shoulder presses, you want to make sure your elbow stays in. The reason is because as you can tell from this angle, my joints are stacked. So notice my shoulder, my elbow, and my wrist, they're all pretty much in line here. And whenever you flare your elbows out, that makes it so that only the wrist and the shoulder are in line. So you don't want that. You want to stack the joints up, and the reason that's important is because that's what's going to give you the best pressing position without excessively taxing your rotator cuff. So you'll probably notice that if you just were to do it with no weight and your elbows were to come forward or out, you'll feel that in your shoulder, and you'll feel like a little bit of crackling. You want to avoid that, because imagine adding 50 pounds in each hand and you're pressing it overhead. Good luck. You're most likely going to get injured right on the first time that you do it improperly. So just make sure your elbows stay nice and tucked. Next thing you want is your forearms to be perpendicular to the ground. So notice as I'm bringing my arm down, my forearms are not going any lower than that, because my arms are not going any lower than that. The reason is because if I do that, then my forearms are not going to be perpendicular to the ground, which is what we're pressing against, which is gravity. So just make sure only to bring it down to the chin, and keep the dumbbells close to the body. Do not allow them to go away, because then it's going to start pulling you forward. Then you're going to start obviously working your lower back. And then what you want to do is, as you're pressing up, think about bringing your biceps by your ears. And what that's going to do is going to make it so that you press directly overhead. Also make sure to keep your chin tucked and do it in a nice, slow and controlled fashion. So let's now talk about some of the mistakes. So we don't want to be doing half reps. Don't do half reps at the bottom of the range, and don't do half reps at the top of the range. Just go all the way down, all the way up. Don't overcomplicate it. Next thing is, like I said, you don't want to bring the dumbbell too low, because notice my forearm is no longer perpendicular to the ground. It's pointing forward. Also, don't lean back as you do it. Stand up tall. That way your biceps get by your ears. Also, do not press forward. Just press directly overhead. And lastly, make sure to keep your chin tucked as you do it.